Jai Shri Shri Guru Gaur Chandra Ju Ki Jai. Jai Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ju Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramhamsa Parivrajakaacharya Astatar Siddhi Shri Shriman Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramhamsa Parivrajakaacharya Astatar Siddhi Shri Shriman Srila Bhakti Rakha Sridhar Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai. Welcome to Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mission Morning Class. Dandavat. Jai Srimati Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jata Parakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitangstam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitangscha Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manubhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dadati Svapadantikam Haribo. So we're beginning a new volume of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrta. This is the Antya Lila Volume 1, finishing yesterday the Madhya Lila, this 25th chapter, wherein there are so many wonderful things in the 25th chapter, and many other chapters as well. But in the last part of the 25th chapter, as we just heard, Srila Sanatana Goswami is giving a summary of the whole chapter, which is really, really helpful, and so many wonderful Siddhantic conclusions regarding the mercy of Mahaprabhu. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Dvaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhaktivinoda Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Dvaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Srila Rupa Goswami's second meeting with the Lord is chapter 1. Jai Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Ki Jai Srila Om Vishnupad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. A summary of the first chapter is given by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur in his Amrita Pravaha Bhasya as follows. This is a summary of the first chapter. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to Jagannath Puri from Vrindavan, all his devotees from other parts of India, upon receiving the auspicious news, came to Purushottam Kshetra or Jagannath Puri. Thank you, Prabhu. Jagannath Puri from Vrindavan. All his devotees, upon receiving the auspicious news, came to Purushottam Kshetra or Jagannath Puri. So Mahaprabhu now returned to Vrindavan, and all the devotees all over have come to meet him. One night, however, Shivananda Sain took a dog with him and even paid fees for it to cross the river. One night, however, the dog could not get any food and therefore went directly to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Jagannath Puri. The next day, when Shivananda and his party reached Jagannath Puri, Shivananda saw the dog eating some coconut pulp offered to it by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. After this incident, the dog was liberated and went back home, back to Godhead. Meanwhile, Srila Rupa Goswami reached Bengal after returning from Vrindavan. Although he could not follow the Bengali devotees, after some time he also came to Jagannath Puri, where he stayed with Haridas Thakur. Srila Rupa Goswami and Srila Haridas Thakur staying together. Srila Rupa Goswami composed an important verse beginning with the words Priya Soham, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu relished it very much. One day Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Ramananda Rai, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and others went to the place of Haridas Thakur and heard some of the verses Rupa Goswami had composed for his books Lalita Madhava, and Vidagdha Madhava. After examining the manuscripts of these two books, Ramananda Roy approved and appreciated them very much. After the period of Chaturmasya, all the devotees who had come from Bengal returned to their homes. Srila Rupa Goswami, however, remained at Jagannath Puri for some time. Jai Gurudev. Pangun langayate shailam mukham avartayet shutam yad kripatam aham vande Krishna Chaitanya Mishwaram. I offer all my respectful obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, by whose mercy even a lame man can cross over a mountain and a dumb man can recite the Vedic literature. Dumb means can't speak. Durgame patimeng dasya skalat pada gate muhu swakripaya stidanena santa sanvavalambanam. My path is very difficult. I am blind and my feet are slipping again and again. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj is saying this. Therefore, may the saints help me by granting me the stick of their mercy as my support. So we know that Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj was very old when he was writing the Chaitanya Charitamrta. And he's saying, this is difficult for me because I'm blind and I keep falling. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath, Echai Gurura Karum Charana Vandan, Jahahoite Bignana Shabista Puran. I pray to the lotus feet of the six Goswamis, Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta and Das Raghunath, so that all impediments to my writing this literature will be annihilated and my real desire will be fulfilled. All impediments are destroyed. Abhignanash. And we're singing also this song in the morning or every day. Prabhupada says, if one wants to benefit the entire world, he will certainly find persons like hogs and pigs who will put forward many impediments. That is natural. But if a devotee seeks shelter at the lotus feet of the six Goswamis, the merciful Goswamis will certainly give the Lord's servitor all protection. It is not astonishing that impediments are placed before those who are spreading the Krishna consciousness movement all over the world. Nevertheless, if we adhere to the lotus feet of the six Goswamis and pray for their mercy, all impediments will be annihilated and the transcendental devotional desire to serve the Supreme Lord will be fulfilled. Jayatam surato bango mama mandamater gati matsarvasva padam bhoja Radha Madana Mohana. Glory to the all-merciful Radha and Madan Mohan. I am lame and ill-advised, yet they are my directors and their lotus feet are everything to me. Divratyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumadha Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanastav Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devo Prestali Sevyamano Smarami. In a temple of jewels in Vrindavan, underneath the desire tree, Shri Radha Govinda, served by their most confidential associates, sit upon an effulgent throne. I offer my humble obeisances unto them. Shriman Rasarasarambi Vamshivata Tatastitaha Karshan Venusvana Gopir Gopinata Shriyestunaha. Shri Srila Gopinath, who originated the transcendental mellows of the Rasa dance, stands on the shore of Vangshivat and attracts the attention of the cowherd damsels with the sound of his celebrated flute. May they all confer upon us their benediction. And in regards to Srila Prabhupada's comment in the purport about impediments, sometimes there are some compromises made in order to attract more people. But these compromises, any compromise which dilutes or changes the siddhanta of our gurus, then what are we giving? So there may be impediments, but we want to stick to the course. We want to deliver what is valuable and what is truth. And let those impediments come, but we don't have to make some mundane adjustment in order to attract more people. What will that accomplish? Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Jai Gaur Bhaktivinoda. All glories to Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to Lord Nityananda. All glories to Advaita Acharya. And all glories to all the devotees of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Majjalila Shankshepete Karilu Varnana Anchalila Varnana Kichushuna Bhaktagana. I have briefly described the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, known as the Majjalila. Now I shall attempt to describe something about his last pastimes, which are known as the Anjalila. Haridev Prabhu? Majjalila Majja Anjalila Shutragana Purva Grante Shankshepete Karihache Varnana. I have briefly described the Anjalila within the description of the Majjalila, as was mentioned before in the beginning of the Majjalila. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj has given a synopsis of the Anjalila. Amijara Grasta Nikate Janiya Marana Anchakono Kona Lila Karihache Varnana. I am now almost an invalid because of old age, and I know that at any moment I may die. Therefore I have already described some portions of the Anjalila, thinking that he may not live long enough to actually write the whole thing. Following the footsteps of Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj, I am trying to translate Srimad Bhagavatam as quickly as possible. However, knowing myself to be an old man and almost an invalid because of rheumatism, I have already translated the essence of all literatures, the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, as a summary study in English, and that's the Krishna books. Those came out early, because Srila Prabhupada did not want us to come to the 10th canto of the Bhagavatam without proper guidance. So he made sure that he gave that with careful guidance before he would leave the world. I started the Krishna consciousness movement at the age of 70. Now I am 78, and so my death is imminent. I am trying to finish the translation of Srimad Bhagavatam as soon as possible, but before finishing it, I have given my readers the book Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so that if I die before finishing the whole task, they may enjoy this book, which is the essence of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Purva likita granta sutra anushare jainahi likita likiye vistare. In accordance with the synopsis previously given, I shall describe in detail whatever I have not mentioned. Vrindavana haite prabhunila chale aila, Swarup Gosai Gaude Vartapataila. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to Jagannath Puri from Vrindavan, Swarup Damodar Gosai immediately sent news of the Lord's arrival to the devotees in Bengal. Shuni Shachi Anandita Shava Bhaktagana Shavamili Nilachale Karila Gamana. Upon hearing this news, Mother Shachi and all the other devotees of Navadvip were very joyful, and they all departed together for Nilachal. Jagannath Puri. Kulina grami bhakta arajata khandavasi acharya shivananda sani milila shabeasi. Thus all the devotees of Kulinagram and Srikanda, as well as Advaita Acharya, came together to meet Shivananda saying, Shivananda kare shabara gati samadana, shabare palana kare deya vashastana. Shivananda Sain arranged for the journey. He maintained everyone and provided residential quarters. Akakukura chale Shivananda Sane, Bhaksha Diyalanya chale kari ya palane. While going to Jagannath Puri, Shivananda Sain allowed a dog to go along with him. He supplied it food to eat and maintained it. Akadina akastane nadi parahaite, Udiya navika kukura nachadaya naukate. One day, when they needed to cross a river, an Arisan boatman would not allow the dog to get in the boat. Kukura rahila Shivananda duki haila, dashapana kadidiya kukure parakaila. Shivananda, unhappy that the dog had to stay behind, paid the boatman 10 panna of conch shells to take the dog across the river. 1 panna is 8 kadis, or small conch shells. Formerly, even 50 or 60 years ago, there was no paper currency in India. Coins are generally not made of base metal, but of gold, silver, and copper. In other words, the medium of exchange is really something valuable. 4 pieces of kadi made 1 ganda, and 20 such gandas equaled 1 panna. This kadi was also used as a medium of exchange, therefore Shivananda paid for the dog with dash panna, or 80 times 10 pieces of kadi. In those days, 1 paisa was also subdivided into small conch shells, but at the present moment, the prices for commodities have gone so high that there is nothing one can get in exchange for only 1 paisa. With 1 paisa in those days, however, one could purchase sufficient vegetables to provide for his whole family. Even 30 years ago, vegetables were occasionally so inexpensive that 1 paisa's worth could provide a whole family per day.
So 30 years ago, it means from the 70s back to the 40s.
Right.
Because that's when you wrote those things.
Exactly. So around there.
Right, the 40s, yeah.
1940s.
All over the world.
Yeah. Akadina Shivanande Gatiale Rakila Kukurake Batadite Sevaka Pasharila. One day Shivananda was detained by a tollman. His servant, one day, while Shivananda was detained by a tollman, his servant forgot to give the dog its cooked rice. So Shivananda was detained, but the devotees went and took the sharam, but the cook forgot to give something to the dog. Ratreyashe Shivananda Bojanera Kale Kukurapanache Bata Sevake Puchile. At night, when Shivananda returned and was taking his meal, he inquired from the servant whether the dog had gotten its meals. Kukuradahi Paya Bata Shuni Duki Haila Kukura Chahite Dasa Manusya Pataila. When he learned that the dog had not been supplied food in his absence, he was very unhappy. He then immediately sent 10 men to find the dog. Chahiya na paila kukura loka shaba aila duki hanya Shivananda upavasa kaila. When the men returned without success, Shivananda Sain became very unhappy and fasted for the night. Prabhate kukura chahi kanana paila shakala vaishnavera mane chamatkara haila. In the morning they looked for the dog, but it could not be found anywhere. All the Vaishnavas were astonished. Utkantaya chali shabe aila nila chale, Purvavat Mahaprabhu Miliya Sakale. Thus, in great anxiety, they all walked to Jagannath Puri, where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met them, as usual. Shabalanya Kaila Jagannatha Darashana, Sabalanya Mahaprabhu Karena Bhojana. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went with them to see the Lord in the temple, and on that day, he also took lunch in the company of all those devotees. So now the devotees have had to continue without the dog because they couldn't find him, and they were very surprised that they couldn't find him. But now they've reached Puri, and now, after going to the temple, Mahaprabhu is taking prasadam with the devotees. Purvavatsabhare Prabhupatai lavasastane Prabhutani Prata Kale Aila Aradine. As previously, the Lord provided them with all with residential quarters, and the next morning all the devotees came to see the Lord. Ashya de kila shabe se ta kukure Prabhupashe Vashya Chekichual Padure. When all the devotees came to the place of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they saw the same dog, sitting a little apart from the Lord. Prasada Narikela Sasya Dena Pelanya Ramakrishna Harika Balena Kashi Hasiya. Furthermore, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was throwing remnants of green coconut pulp to the dog. Smiling in his own way, he was saying to the dog, chant the holy names, Rama, Krishna, and Hari. Now how the dog found his way to Mahaprabhu when he, no one would guess that a dog would even know where they were going.
Well, how far were they from Mahaprabhu?
I don't know, but that somehow or other the dog went to Mahaprabhu. So this is an extraordinary situation. That he doesn't know Mahaprabhu or Puri or anything.
No, never seen before?
Well, it's not saying that they had, or maybe he had, but it's not mentioned there. Shashyakaya Kukura Krishna Kaya Bara Bara Dekhiya Lokera Mani Haila Chamadkara. Seeing the dog eating the green coconut pulp and chanting Krishna Krishna again and again. All the devotees present were very surprised. Shivananda Kukura Dekhi Dandavat Kaila Danya Kari Nija Aparada Kshamaila. When he saw the dog sitting in that way, chanting the name of Krishna, Shivananda, because of his natural humility, immediately offered obeisances to the dog, just to counteract his offenses to it.
But the dog was really chanting the Krishna name.
Yeah.
Like this.
I don't know. Okay, I agree. If the Lord wants anyone to chant the name, he can chant it. Aradina keha tara dekana paila siddha deha panya kukura vaikunte tegela. The next day no one saw that dog, for it had obtained its spiritual body and departed for Vaikunta, the spiritual kingdom. And this is the result of sadhu sangha. Consequent association with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and promotion back home, back to Godhead. So from sadhu sangha, one will get the association of Mahaprabhu. The result is possible even for a dog by the mercy of the Vaishnava. Therefore, everyone in the human form of life, should be induced to associate with devotees. By rendering a little service, even by eating prasadam, what to speak of chanting and dancing, everyone can be promoted to Vaikuntha Loka. It is therefore requested that all of our devotees in the ISKCON community become pure devotees, so that by their mercy all the people of the world will be transferred to Vaikuntha Loka even without their knowledge. Everyone should be given a chance to take prasadam and thus be induced to chant the holy names of Hare Krishna and also dance in ecstasy. By these three processes, although performed without knowledge or education, Even an animal went back to Godhead. Haribol. Aiche divya lila kare sachiranandana kukurake Krishna kahanya karila mochana. Such are the transcendental pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the son of Mother Shachi. He even delivered a dog simply by inducing it to chant the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna. At the Prabhu Agyaya Rupa Aila Vrindavan, Krishna Lila Nataka Karite Haila Mana. Meanwhile, following the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Rupa Goswami returned to Vrindavan. He desired to write dramas concerning the pastimes of Lord Krishna. Vrindavane Natakera Aramba Karila. So Srila Rupa Goswami met Mahaprabhu at Dasashvamedha Ghat. And then after hearing from Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu instructed him to go back to Vrindavan. And Srila Rupa Goswami did that. So this is kind of, meanwhile, Srila Rupa Goswami's returned to Vrindavan. Vrindavane Natakera Aramba Karila Mangala Charana Nandi Shloka Tatai Likila. In Vrindavan, Rupa Goswami began to write a drama. In particularly, he composed the introductory verses to invoke good fortune. So there, we hear from this how there is a very, very standard kind of format for composition of these dramas. And one of the things is that there is an auspicious invocation, and we see this in so many books, right? We see this auspicious invocation. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur quotes from the Nataka Chandrika, wherein it is written, okay, so these are the shlokas in the 6th chapter of the Sahita Darpana, and the introductory portion of a drama which is written to invoke good fortune is called the Nandi Shloka. Patte chale aishe natakera gatana bhavite karacha kariya kichu lagi lalikite. On his way to Gaudadesh, Rupa Goswami had been thinking of how to write the actions of the drama. Thus he had made some notes and begun to write. Emati duibai goda deshe aila, gode ashe anupamera ganga prapti aila. In this way, the two brothers Rupa and Anupam reached Bengal, but when they arrived there, Anupam died. So Srila Rupa Goswami is now going to Bengal to meet the devotees. But when he reached there, Anupam died. So he didn't go along with the devotees to Jagannath Puri. Formerly, when a person died, it was commonly said that he had attained the shelter of Mother Ganges, even if he did not die on the bank of the Ganges. It is customary among Hindus to carry a dying person to a nearby bank of the Ganges, for if one dies on the bank of the Ganges, his soul is considered to reach the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, wherefrom the Ganges flows. So it's considered to be non-different. To be near the Ganges is to be at the lotus feet of Vishnu. Rupa Gosai Prabhu Pashe Karila Gamana Prabhu Re Dekite Tara Utkanti Tamana. Rupa Goswami then departed to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for he was very eager to see him. Anupamera Lagitara Kichu Vilamba Haila Bhaktagana Pasha Aila Lagana Paila. There was some delay because of the death of Anupama, and therefore when Rupa Goswami went to Bengal to see the devotees there, he could not get in touch with them because they had already left. Uriya deshe Satyabhama Pura Name Grama Akaratri Se Grame Karila Bishrama. In the province of Orissa, there's a place known as Satyabhamapur. Srila Rupa Goswami rested for a night in that village on his way to Jagannath Puri. So now Rupa Goswami has gone to Orissa on his own, having missed the departure of all the group of devotees. And he's staying at a place called Satyabhamapur, which is significant. There's a place known as Satyabhamapur in the district of Katak, or Chatak, in Orissa. It is near the village known as Jankebe Papur. Ratre swapne deke aka divya rupa nari, samukhe ashiya agya dila bahu kripakari. While resting in Satyabhamapur, he dreamed that a celestially beautiful woman came before him and very mercifully gave him the following order.
Who is dreaming?
Srila Rupa Goswami. Having gone to Satyabhamapur, then he had the dream of this divine personality.
Satyabhamapur is in the region of
Orissa.
Orissa.
It's in Orissa.
Okay.
Amaranataka, so this is Satyabhama Devi herself, has come to Rupa Goswami in the form of what they, like a dream.
In a dream, okay.
Amara Nataka Pita Karahara Chana Amara Kripate Nataka Haibe Bilakshana. Write a separate drama about me, she said. By my mercy, it will be extraordinarily beautiful. Swapna Deki Rupa Gosai Karila Bichar Satya Brahmara Agya Pratak Nataka Karibar. After having that dream, Srila Rupa Goswami considered, it is the order of Satyabhama that I write a separate drama for her. Prajapura Lila Ekatra Karya Chegatana Duiba Kari Ebe Karimu Rachana. I brought together in one work all the pastimes performed by Lord Krishna in Vrindavan and in Dwarka. Now I shall have to divide them into two dramas. So Satyabhama is saying, these pastimes of Vrindavan and the pastimes about me, meaning the pastimes of Dwarka, they should be separate.
Right, because Satyabhama is the queen in Dwarka. And in Vrindavan, only the gopis stay there.
I want to keep reading, but it is...
Go ahead, we can keep reading.
Bhavite, Shigra Aila Nila Chale, Ashe Utarila Haridasa Vasa Stale. Thus absorbed in thought, he quickly reached Jagannath Puri. When he arrived, he approached the hut of Haridas Thakur. This is Srila Rupa Goswami. Haridasa Thakur Tane Bahu Kripa Kaila, Tumi Asibe Mora Prabhuje Kahila. Out of affectionate love and mercy, Haridas Thakur told Srila Rupa Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has already informed me that you would come here. Upala Bhoga Deki Haridase Radekite Pratidina Aisena Prabhu Aila Achambite. After seeing the Upal Bhog ceremony at the Jagannath temple, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would regularly come to see Haridas every day. Thus he suddenly arrived there. So Srila Rupa Goswami has arrived at the place of residence of Haridas Thakur, and Upal Bhog having been finished, Mahaprabhu went there also, as he did every day. Rupa Dandavat Kari Haridasa Kahila, Haridase Mili Prabhu Rupe Alangila. When the Lord arrived, Rupa Goswami immediately offered his obeisances. Haridas informed the Lord, this is Rupa Goswami offering you obeisances, and the Lord embraced him. So I'll stop here. I'm going to go on to Upadesamrita. But and This is a good place to stop because now the conversation between the Lord and Rupa Goswami and Haridas Thakur. We'll start. Jai. Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrta ki.
Jai.
Jai Shri Krishna Das Kaviraj ki. Jai. Jai Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki. Jai. So, in the kitchen, anybody remember what we're reading? Oh, this is the first volume of the Antya Lila. We have finished the Madhya Lila now. And we're beginning the first volume of the Antya Lila.
How many volumes is Antya Lila?
I don't remember. Maybe 3? I can't remember.
3?
I don't know. Actually, you can see that though in the bookshelf. Haribol. So now, Haridev? Are you coming?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, so when you say volume, you don't say like chapters.
No, the volume, the books.
They've been printed.
Yeah.
So the Antya Lila was not divided in 1 part, 3 parts, or 2 parts. It's just 1 part.
I don't know. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know that. Come and chant Upadesamrita. Okay, so here's the handout. So now we are beginning to read Srila Guru Maharaj's commentary on the 4th verse of the Upadesamrita. But we can chant all the verses up to and including the 4th verse, and maybe we'll be able to finish that reading. Jai Shri Upadesamrita ki Jai, Srila Rupa Goswami ki Jai, Sant Goswami Prabhu ki Jai, Rupa Nuga Guru Varga ki Jai. You know, when someone says ki Jai, then you say Jai. Okay. Vacho vegam manasakroda vegam, jiva vegam udara pasta vegam, etan veganyo visaheta dira, sarvam apimam pritibim sasisya. The urge of vacho vegam,
Speech.
the urge of speech, manasa vegam. Lila? What does that
No,
mean?
here. Oh.
What is manasa vegam?
Manasa Vegam, the mind impulse.
Urges
The
of
urge.
the mind. Kroda vegam. Thank you, the urge of egg. Jiva vegam.
Jiva,
Jiva vegam.
the organ, the taste, the tongue.
Udaropasta vegam.
The belly,
And the genitals.
and the organ of generation.
Etan vegan yo vishaheta dira sarvam abhimam pritibim sasisyat. The urge of speech, the urges of the mind and anger, the urge of the tongue, the urges of the belly and the genitals. A sober person who can control all these urges can instruct the entire world. Number 2, together. Atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha janasangaschaloyam cha sadbhir bhaktir vinashyati. Over-accumulation, over-endeavor, unnecessary talk, misapplication of rules, association with non-devotees, and fickle-mindedness. Devotion is destroyed by these 6 faults. Association with non-devotees, of course, the devotees sometimes have to be with non-devotees, but that's not the same as taking their association. Taking association means to mix with them in a social way.
In their conception.
That is very detrimental for
In their conception, in their ideal.
Yeah, and get too much involved in their lives. We can give association, meaning trying to give the connection of our gurus, but to take association, it will be very detrimental for us. So much so that Rupa Goswami repeats this in verse 3.
Right.
Utsaha nishchayat tat tat karma pravartana sangatyaga sato vritte sadbhir bhakti prasidhyati. enthusiasm, conviction, dharya, perseverance, tat karma, pravartana, engaging in favorable activities, and sangatyagat, giving up materialistic association, following the conduct of the great souls, sato vritti, sadhya bhakti prasiddhiti. Devotion is nourished by these 6 qualities. So who can name these 6 qualities? Or even one? Utsahan, enthusiasm. Nishchaya means
Conviction.
conviction. Dharya, but like dira, sober, perseverant, right? Engaging in tat karma pravartana means engaging in the activities of devotional practice.
What is the meaning of tat?
Of what?
Tat.
Tat. This and this. Tat. I mean, as far as I can, we can look up the word for word. It's right there, underneath. Tat. Favorable. Well.
Favorable.
Anyway, no. But it's anyway. Tat means this, that. Whatever it is, these things and that thing and that. Whatever those are, those activities, we're doing that. As far, I mean, maybe I'll get corrected by that, but I think that. Then tyaga means tyagi. What does tyagi mean? Means to renounce.
Give up.
Or give up the fruits of life.
Someone who's renouncing. So giving up bad association, and satovritti, following the conduct of like satsanga. Satsanga means those who are engaged in truth. So we're following in the footsteps of those who are engaged in truth, who are truthful, who are devotees, the great souls.
Sattva-vritta.
I have a question. You know this song that every Sunday we sing? My dear brother, my dear mind, it is by the grace of the spiritual master that we cross over the ocean of this material existence. So are these qualities given by the mercy of Gurudev? For example, conviction, like I don't have any conviction yet, a little bit. But is this because of our own effort, or is by the grace of Gurudev?
So there's 2 parties. One is that person who's giving mercy, and the other one has to receive it. He has to take that. Jai Shishi Guru Gaurachandra Jai Arjun Ki Jai. So we have instructions that we're following, but always that is happening by the mercy of Gurudev. But we also have that free will, and we must engage in those activities. But why would these activities have any fruit? Because of mercy. We can engage in the same activities as somebody else who has no connection with Guru, but the result will be different because of the connection with Gurudev.
And when we perform service to Gurudev, shall we be thinking, please give me mercy? Or we will be in the mode of, it's for you, Gurudev, I don't want anything.
Oh no, we are really asking for mercy.
We're asking for mercy.
Yeah. Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya. What does that mean?
Give me a drop of mercy.
Yeah. Bindu means a drop, or a little. So Kripa means mercy. Diya, give. Oh my Lord, Gurudev, please give me a drop of mercy. Mm-hmm.
Can we add something else? This is very interesting. Srila Gurudev I think in a talk in Navadip, he was saying that at the beginning the search is through the mind, like Chetodharpana Marjanam. Like first we need to clean the mirror of the heart, and then the real search begins with the soul. So this being said, when we speak about asking for mercy to Gurudev, in our position we might be asking for mercy with our mind. So since the mind is not reliable, we may misunderstand what mercy is. So what is it, or what should be our position by understanding mercy? Because the mind is, okay, give me mercy, that means give me relief or give me what I want.
That's why now, right now, you're making a distinction between asking for divine mercy, I will be for the Lord only, and what I want as relief. You're already making that distinction, and that's because of understanding. So that's why we're having classes where we're reading and also engaging in so many activities that can clear our consciousness or relieve our consciousness of so many levels of self-centered thought. And then everything becomes more and more clear. So there's a process that what we consider mercy now, that will also become purified. Just as so many other things are becoming purified, right? Our whole conception of existence and myself and what am I, that is all gradually becoming purified. So all those things will become more and more clear. And even now, you've made a big distinction between asking for mercy in a more self-centered, materialistic way and asking for mercy in a higher and more sincere way. So that will also continue. That purification will also continue. And we're really begging for that. But for what? Why do I want to become purified? For Him. I want to be existing for Him. Only. No other thought. But for Him. But then the mind will, the disgusting part of our mind will, oh, well, what's in it for me? He's the absolute reality. Is there any part of reality that is not nourished if He's nourished? This is our stupidity that we think we've got some separate interest outside of the whole. It's retarded. And it's not working. We can definitely attest to that. Thank God, He's giving us enough suffering that we can realize that our position is so wrong, just absurd.
It's extremely rooted though.
Huh?
It's very rooted.
Yeah, it's nothing. Gurumar said it's like a mushroom, no root actually. Easily by the holy name and these processes given here, that will go very quickly. On one hand it seems, but like in the Bhagavatam it said that I forget which verse, anyway, it's like the ocean. This seems like this ocean of material existence will become like the water in the hoof print of a calf. It looks so big, but easily, it's all just illusion.
Right.
Misunderstanding. So it's nothing really substantial.
Right.
But we have to continue tat karma pravartana. Continue to do to have a lifestyle, and more an internal lifestyle also, and satovite, always following the instructions and the be in the wake of the great souls, and all these things will be gone, be gone. But this mind proposing that I have some separate interest, we're going to get really sick of it sooner or later. It's like, that again, that old nonsense again, really? The Lord is very clever. He will arrange everything. Okay, so now number 4, we're going to read this and then read this commentary by Guru Maharaj. And I really, anyway. Okay, Dadati Pratigranati Guhyamakyati Prichati Bhunkte Bhojayate Chaiva Sadvidam Priti Lakshanam. Giving and accepting gifts, discussing and inquiring about confidential matters, and giving and partaking of foods are the 6 characteristics of love. What is the word for characteristic? Lakshanam. It means symptom. Priti Lakshanam. Okay, now we'll stop there and continue to read this commentary by Guru Maharaj. This commentary is on page 93, and we're about halfway down. Sadvidam Priti Lakshanam. If we associate in these 6 ways with a bad man, we will become bad. And if we associate with a good man, we will become good. In a lake, there may be 2 types of water, filtered and filthy. Such waters come and go from a lake, and filthy water can be purified. Similarly, the higher sadhus can take evil thoughts from others without becoming contaminated because in their hearts resides Govinda, and any quality of filth can be consumed by him, the infinite Sri Krishna. So the sadhu, by the sadhu's association, so many filthy things can be taken away from them. But he's not affected by that. Like in a big lake, some dirty water may come in and go. The lake is not disturbed by that. There are so many sadhus who take the dress of a sadhu, but only deal with mundane affairs. That's for sure. Sometimes when a younger devotee will go to India for the first time, they just think everybody's a saint. And they should just do whatever they're told by anyone and everyone. That is far from the truth. A real sadhu is a rare personality. We say with all, with due respect from a distance, but we do not associate with anyone and everyone who just dresses like a sadhu. There are so many sadhus who take the dress of a sadhu, but only deal with mundane affairs. Take this medicine to remove this disease. Or, you are suffering from attack of a bad planet. I will give you a kavacha to change it. And that may be the job of a doctor or of an astrologer. But that is not what sadhus are for. In this way, you can understand. In this way, many take the robes of a sadhu but engage only in mundane achievements. They are not a sadhu proper. Sadhu means sat, and sat means that which is eternal. A sadhu is one who is after eternity and who lives in eternity. And what does living in eternity mean? It means Vaikuntha. So, a great sadhu whose main business is giving Krishna consciousness, he may also do many other things. Gurudev was a very good doctor. But that was not his idea of what a sadhu is. In other words, there are those who present themselves as a sadhu, but their whole idea of being a sadhu is totally mundane. So that's very different. SCSMission Krishna, sorry, I have to put my glasses back on. SCSMission Sanardopi Satsanga Sevadirninam. That's from the 11th canto of the Bhagavatam. To get the association of a real sadhu for even a moment may turn the direction of one's life. Sevadi, it is a very, very valuable gem, the most valuable help we can get. What he gives us is far more valuable than anything in this world. Everything here is mortal. Gems, diamonds, money, kingdoms, these things have no real value at all. They may be valuable within a particular class of human thought, but they have no value to a sadhu. There are so many things in the creation, but they are nothing to the sadhu. because they have no general value. Happiness, joy, beauty, sweetness, these have great value. These have general value. They are necessary even for the trees, even for the creepers, even for the stones. So what Guru Maharaj is saying is, what we all need, all the animation, all living beings need happiness, joy, beauty, and sweetness. These are the general values, whereas there's so many other things that are not of no real value. But then the sadhu will tell you really where to find those things. They are necessary even for the trees, for the creepers, the stones, in whatever position the seeker may be. If they get that, they will be highly satisfied. So happiness is something of general value, general meaning for everyone. Yasmin prapte sarvamidam praptam bhavati. Seek that thing upon attaining which everything is attained. Find that thing which when you get that, you've got everything. And then, yang labdva chaparam labam yate nadikam tata. Srimad Bhagavad Gita 6:22. If we get a little of that, we think that no other thing can satisfy us. If you even get a little bit of that, you just, so many problems are solved because so many desires are finished. This is the thing for which we've been striving for so many lives. Now we have found the object of our search. Okay, any questions in the kitchen? We can only get higher things, however, through the connection of service, by offering ourselves. We cannot be the controller of higher things, but we can serve those things. And who will not want to? Automatically we will want to. When you meet such great personality, immediately you want to serve them. Your heart is just, want to serve. So we have come to the association of things of a lower nature, but if we want the association of things of a higher type, then we must offer ourselves into the service of those things. We must always keep this broad thought in mind. Higher things cannot be utilized like servants for ourselves. We have only to offer to be a servant of the sadhu if really we want his connection. Only through service can we be connected with him. For his interest we shall have to work. For his interest we shall have to work. His interest is more valuable than our interest. He is living a higher life. He is living a higher life. So serving him, we are also participating in a higher thing. But otherwise, how will we participate? You can't just take that thing. It will be mundane. It will be an illusion. So what is satsanga? What is sadhu sangha? Sadhu means one who is higher, of superior quality. And sangha means seva, or service. Does sadhu sangha mean only to keep our bodies together? So is association only being in the same room with someone? No, the association of the higher is possible only through a serving attitude, not by any opposite dealings or idle settling, or idle sitting. Lower association means exploitation, enjoyment, and to sit idle is still enjoyment. To associate with the higher, there must be a serving link, and thereby our quality of service can increase. To associate with the higher, there must be a serving link between us and them, and therefore the quality of our service will also increase. All right, well, we're reading a little bit every day, but this is very concentrated information, so we're not feeling such a big rush. Lots of conversation is good. Any questions or comments from anyone?
What is sadhusanga? Besides being in the same room?
Serving.
Service?
Serving. Service must be there. Guru Maharaj said, to be with the sadhu is not a physical thing only. By physical association, one can hear from them, one can serve them, that is a good thing. But he said even a fly is associating with the sadhu. If it's just a physical thing, a fly can sit right on top of his shoulder. It's very intimate association.
Intimate service.
More than us. More than this disciple. Haribol.
Vimala Krishna Prabhu, he said something related to the question that I asked before about mercy. He said, we can pray for mercy, but we have to be ready to surrender to what comes.
Die.
If we are trying to understand mercy through our mind, we may not like what is being given to us, and we may try to reject it.
Who say this?
Bimal.
Vimala Krishna.
Good comment, Bimal.
In Oregon.
In North
California.
California, I guess. Yeah, interesting.
Very good.
Say again what he said?
We can pray for mercy, but we have to be ready to surrender to what comes. If we are trying to understand mercy through our mind, we may not like what is being given to us, and we may try to reject it.
Yeah.
So mercy comes and we're trying to reject it.
Yeah. We must surrender and serve. Guru Maharaj said surrender is the first thing, then service.
Then serve, okay.
Surrender, then serve.
Not serve and then surrender.
You know, people sometimes get the idea that this surrender thing, this is for the, Mahabhagavat devotees and we don't have anything to do with it. Guru Maharaj said without surrender, where is the service?
Right.
Our relationship with the Lord must be surrender. It's not like we're going to have a meeting with Him and decide how things are going to go. It's not like the slaves are having a little meeting and decide how the master is going to treat them. He said that's an absurd proposition.
Yeah. Can you give me cartons, please?
Jai Shri Shri Upadesamrita ki, Jai
Jai.
Shri Rupa Goswami Pad ki, Jai. When we begin reading Upadesamrita every morning, I think, well, this is a whole half hour. We're going to get a really long way here. But it's so condensed, right? There's so much to talk about.
It's true.
Hari Haraye Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama.
Hari Haraye Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshaya Nama.
Gopal Govinda Ram Sri Sanja.
Gopal Govinda Ram Madhusudha.
Girinari Gopinath. Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj ki jai, jai Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Paribhajakacharya Astatar Siddha Sri Sriman Srila Bhakti Rakat Sri Dardev Goswami Maharaj ki jai, Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Vrinda ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, Sargoswami Prabhu ki jai, Saparshad Sriman Mahaprabhu ki jai, Saparshad Sri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki jai, Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Maha ki jai, Radhishaka Mat ki jai, Shri Chaitanya SCSMission ki jai, Kol Kartal ki jai, Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Samaveda Vaishnava Mandala ki jai, Samaveda Bhaktivinoda ki jai, Srimati Tulsi Devi ki jai, Nitai